At AGIG, we believe Western Australia's dreams of a greener economy are not only possible, but highly credible. Our state boasts all the ingredients needed to fuel the green transition, and by creating a hydrogen, methane and CO2 network, we see enormous potential. This infrastructure would deliver safe, reliable and affordable energy throughout the state, drive down CO2 emissions without curtailing our energy use, facilitate the large-scale production and transmission of low-carbon hydrogen, support the country's emission targets using a sustainable, economical and proven formula, fend off rising temperatures, improve public health and usher in a new wave of commercial opportunities for the state. WA has an existing gas infrastructure corridor, which runs from Dampier in the state's north to Bunbury in its south. The first part of AGIG's carbon reduction plan is to use this zone as a pathway for CO2 storage at two sites that sit adjacent to the corridor, in a process called Carbon Capture and Sequestration, or CCS. A transformational shift in carbon reduction can be achieved by capturing CO2 emissions from both its source of production and its point of use, and we plan to do both using the same infrastructure corridor. The corridor stretches along one of the world's most prolific wind and solar resources and has been globally recognized as an ideal area for large-scale hydrogen production. The second part of AGIG's plan is to establish a large hydrogen pipeline that sits within the same infrastructure corridor and enables WA's enormous wind and solar resources to be realized. This pipeline will be complementary to the CO2 infrastructure and will enable blue and green hydrogen to be delivered to customers and ammonia producers. We believe huge economies of scale, benefiting all energy producers and consumers, can be realized by the simultaneous construction of the hydrogen and CO2 infrastructure. In the southern half of the state, the benefits are fourfold. WA's incredible natural advantages for large-scale blue and green hydrogen and ammonia production will be enhanced through the connectivity created by the large-diameter hydrogen pipeline and CO2 transportation system. The hydrogen pipeline will connect the optimal location for generation of renewable power to where the commodity will be used or exported. CO2 emissions from mineral processing, power generation and chemicals manufacturing near Perth can be captured and transported to the Perth Basin, where they can be safely and permanently stored below ground using existing proven technology. Operational and new gas processing facilities in the Perth Basin will be able to utilize the same infrastructure to remove CO2, creating a significant reduction in emissions, both at the gas extraction point and where the gas is used. Further north, the same large-scale decarbonisation opportunities exist due to very similar natural resources. In addition, the state's north has the ability to produce and transport hydrogen to consumers at scale. This process would be a catalyst in replacing the state's diesel-powered mining fleet with hydrogen-operated equipment. This will remove a significant portion of the 6.7 billion litres of the highly polluting diesel from entering WA, improve the state's energy security, and clear the way for the state's development of a green steel industry. Near Onslow, at our Turbridge gas storage facility, we're investigating the permanent storage of CO2 in a 2-kilometre deep sedimentary rock formation known as the Mungaroo. This formation sits below the site's existing gas storage reservoir, and we believe it could hold tens of millions of tonnes of locally emitted CO2 due to the layers of impermeable rock formations that act as strong regional seals. Enhancing the formation's suitability as a CCS site is a chemical reaction that occurs over time, in which the CO2 combines with saline water that creates a carbonate solid that can never escape to the surface. These areas have held gas for millennia, and now the same formations can be used to permanently store CO2. Depositing CO2 in a deep saline aquifer is a technically feasible, relatively low-risk process that is being used successfully around the world. The most similar example being Equinor's Sleipner project in Norway. This project has been safely injecting CO2 since 1996. Subject to investigations to confirm the characteristics of the area's regional seal, AGIG intends to replicate this project and set up a facility that would ultimately have the capacity to inject tens of millions of tons of CO2 over its lifetime, promoting a safe, long-term storage solution for WA's CO2. AGIG's vision is undoubtedly enormous in scale, but we have the tools, expertise and regional know-how to position WA at the forefront of global decarbonisation.